The sound didn't belong in a mansion like this. It slipped through marble halls and velvet curtains, thin and trembling, a child's sob. Broken and desperate. Adrian Hale, the millionaire CEO known for boardroom ruthlessness and billion-dollar decisions, froze mid-step. He had been walking past the servants' quarters, something he rarely did, when the crying stopped him cold. It wasn't loud, but it carried a weight that pulled at something he had buried long ago. He turned back, heart tightening, unaware that his single moment would change not just one child's life but his own, and the entire household forever. Before the story unfolds, pause for a second. If you've ever believed that kindness can rewrite destiny, tap like and subscribe, because what happens next proves that one compassionate choice can echo louder than wealth ever could. Adrian stood outside a half-open door, unsure why his feet refused to move on. Inside, he heard a woman's hushed voice, trembling with exhaustion. "Amara, please see broken bar." It was already broken when I found it. A fresh wave of crying followed, sharper now. Adrian pushed the door open slowly. The room was small, modest, nothing like the rest of the estate. On a narrow bed sat Leela, one of the maids who had worked in his home for 7 years, holding her daughter close. The little girl in no more than 6 clutched a toy rabbit with a cracked plastic ear barely hanging on. Leela looked up in horror when she saw him. "Sarah, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize." As she stood quickly, panic flashing across her face, ready to apologize for something she hadn't even done wrong. Adrian raised a hand gently, surprising them both. "It's all right," he said, his voice softer than either of them expected. His eyes fell on the toy. "Is that why she's crying?" Amara sniffed, her cheeks wet, eyes red. "Papa Bunny was a gift from my dad," she whispered. "He said if I hugged it when I missed him, it would keep me safe." Leela's lips pressed together as she turned away. Adrian noticed. "Her father?" he asked quietly. Leela hesitated, then spoke. "He passed away 2 years ago. Construction accident." The words were flat, practiced, spoken so many times they'd lost their sharpness, but not their pain. Something cracked inside Adrian. He remembered being 7, sitting on the cold floor of a foster home, clutching a broken toy car, the only thing his mother had given him before she vanished from his life forever. No one had fixed it. No one had cared. He swallowed hard and knelt in front of Amara. "May I see Papa Bunny?" he asked. Amara hesitated, then handed it to him carefully, as if it might fall apart completely. Adrian examined it, then smiled faintly. "This isn't broken," he said. "It just needs help." Leela looked confused. "Sir, you don't have to." He stood. "I'll be back," he said, and walked away with the toy in his hand. The household buzzed. An hour later, the CEO had cancelled meetings. He had left the estate. Whispers filled the corridors. Had something gone wrong? When Adrian returned, he didn't go to his office. He went straight back to the servants' quarters. Leela nearly dropped the laundry basket when she saw him again. He knelt and handed Amara Papa Bunny. The ear was perfectly repaired, reinforced, and stitched with a tiny golden thread. But that wasn't all. Around the rabbit's neck hung a small silver pendant engraved with 2 words, "Always safe." Amara gasped. Her crying turned into laughter so pure it stunned everyone in the room. She hugged the toy tightly, then hugged Adrian without thinking. The CEO froze, then slowly wrapped his arms around her, his eyes burning. Leela fell to her knees. "Sarah broken bar, I don't know how to thank you." Adrian shook his head. "You already have," he said, by raising her. But his action didn't stop there. That evening, Adrian summoned the entire household staff. Fear rippled through the room. Announcements from him were never casual. He stood before them, quiet, thoughtful. "Today," he began, "I was reminded that wealth means nothing if the people who make this house a home are struggling in silence." He paused, eyes scanning familiar faces he had ignored for years. "Effective immediately, every employee here will receive full health care, education support for their children, and a living wage increase." Gasps, tears, hands over mouths. He turned to Leela. "And you," he said gently, "will no longer be working double shifts. Your daughter needs you, and she will attend the best school in this city." Fully covered. Leela broke down completely. But the greatest change wasn't financial, it was personal. Adrian began eating dinner in the main hall with staff once a week. He learned names, he listened to stories, and every evening, Amar waited by the stairs, waving Papa Bunny, reminding him of something he'd forgotten, that love, once ignored, doesn't disappear, it waits. Months later, Adrian established a foundation in Amara's father's name, supporting families of workers lost to workplace accidents. At the opening ceremony, Amara stood beside him, holding his hand. When asked why he did all this, Adrian simply said, "Because one broken toy reminded me of the child I once was and the man I wanted to become." And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it, because kindness, when shared, multiplies.